In 2014, our goal was to educate and inspire the next generation of young Black leaders. So we set out to find the nation's best of the best to reveal the secrets to success. Our belief is that we should teach the young early the things that we learn late. Our lives are shifting the culture. Our lives are changing the narrative. This is the ShineHard Conversation. Welcome back to another episode of the ShineHard Conversation. Can you believe we're in season 4? So today, I'm your host, Johnny Bailey. We're in Washington, D.C. at Tech Hub N3 with educator, marketer, Tola Lawal, all the way from NYC.
Yeah.
Tola has a very interesting journey in her career. She's worked for BET, MTV, Sony, and she's even been featured by Black Enterprise along the way. Today, she's going to talk about how to break through into entertainment, how to transition from one career path to another, and of course, some of her personal keys to success. So without further ado, Tola, it's time to shine, baby.
My turn.
So we'll dive right into it. A lot of times people will see you on social media and they'll see how far you've gone and your successes, but they might not know how the journey began. So talk a little bit about your childhood and what growing up was like for you.
My childhood was pretty cool. I have a mother who was like my first role model, and I didn't realize it up until my job in education that like I did have a role model. I did have a mentor, and she lived in the same house with me, because I always just say I didn't have a mentor growing up, but I did. And it was my mother. She was just like the prime example of everything that I wanted to be and what I strived to be.
Yeah.
She is so graceful. You know, my mother was an educator for 30 plus years. She actually just had a dinner on Friday with her first graduating class of students. So, you know, my mother was just always well put together, always cool, calm, and collected. I've never seen her out of pocket.
Yeah.
So just growing up, I'm like, I don't really know how to do that, but I need to be like my mother, but we're complete opposites. But
Really?
Absolutely. Like,
No.
my mother is very straight.
You have some of those qualities going
Thank
for you.
I appreciate it. But, you know, I grew up in a 2-family household. My father is Nigerian. He was a little strict, a little rough around the edges, but my mother was the balance in the house. So I had the devil and the angel on the side.
Really?
Yeah. It was,
Which one did you listen to most?
I tried to listen to my mother the most.
Okay.
You know, and thank God I did, because I don't know where I would be if I didn't. But pretty decent childhood growing up. I went to Catholic High School, Cardinal Spellman High School in the Bronx. I went to Pace University.
BX?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So how did your childhood, having that split family, help you figure out your career path? Or how did it help you mold you into, you know, your trajectory in life?
My trajectory, honestly, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 12 years old.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah, seriously. And it's because I wanted to make sure I had money for Christmas shopping for my parents. I'm like, every Christmas there's so much stuff under the tree for me and everyone else. I want to give them something. So around September, October, I would be like, all right, Ma, we got to go to Woolworth, which no longer exists. She was my first investor, you know what I mean? So she would take me shopping to whatever arts and crafts store I wanted to go to. I would find some craft that I could make and sell it to my family members and my mom's coworkers. So I think I started out with like those kente cloth woven placemats, and I would put like laminated plastic over it, and my family members would buy it, and I just knew I was making
They supported the hustle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then my senior year in high school, I was making crochet Christmas ornaments, and that was a lot, and I made like $1,000. I was like, I made it, I'm rich.
So did you know what entrepreneurship was as a kid? Or was there like something else that you wanted to be?
I don't know. I just knew that the end goal was to make money to get my parents Christmas presents.
That's like the NYC mentality, like just get to it. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but get to it.
Right, like the end goal is to make sure that they had gifts under the tree from me. So I didn't really know it had a name back then. I think when I got to college, I realized like, yeah, I want to be my own boss.
Right.
Not all the time. It's really, really hard.
What'd you study at Pace?
I was an English comm major at Pace. So I knew I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I just didn't know in what field. I was like, okay, I can do marketing, PR, but let me just get in there and see how to maneuver. So when I got to Pace, I just jumped into my internships. I interned at Sony, MTV, and Jive Records, which no longer exist. And my friends would be like, hey, did you get that from the career office? I'm like, no, I'd get this myself. Like, I literally sat down and made a list of 10 companies that I wanted to work for, and I stole from my on-campus job. I printed out my resume, stole envelopes, stole postage, and I was like, because back then you had to mail it. Right?
Oh, wow.
There was no email.
Don't tell your age.
There was no email, so I snail mailed everything. And the calls just started coming in. Out of 10, I probably got like 3 or 4 calls back.
Oh, wow.
But I was just like, yeah, I got to keep going. So I would get in my friend's ear, like, hey, where's your internship? We're about to graduate, in 2 years. You need an internship before we graduate. So I was that person. And then, when you're like, when you're you're in the music industry and you get all the music for free, you're like the cool kid on campus.
So wait, when you were in college, you were sending the letters out and were they calling you back?
Yeah.
Or did you know anybody in the industry?
No.
Or it was just like...
I was 19 years old. I didn't know anybody.
Yeah, so they just called back. But I guess where were these networks at that time? Were they still starting out, or were they just pretty much where they are today?
What do you mean, what networks?
When we talk about like the BET network, I know you worked for an auxiliary of
Centric.
Centric.
Oh, that was in 2010.
Oh, that was way after that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna tell my age. I had my first internship in 2002.
Okay.
So, and I graduated college in 2004.
Gotcha. So you were still in school.
Yeah, I was still in school. Yeah. I did it that way, and this is what I encourage a lot of students to do, because when you graduate, you don't have time to work for free. You do, but you're not going to want to. So do it while you're in school. Make sure you graduate with at least 2 or 3 internships, and it's a resume builder.
Right.
So when you graduate, you hit the ground running, and it looks like you have work experience. You know how to conduct yourself in a professional setting, and you've acquired some transferable skills.
Oh, that's real. So what was your first job after you graduated from Pace?
So my first job when I graduated from Pace was in beauty PR at this beauty company called Trachtenberg PR. And it was amazing. It was hard work, but I oftentimes refer to that place as like my breeding ground, like where I just realized like the entertainment industry is not all glitz and glamour. Like you really have to go in here. There are going to be the long nights, no pay, stressful bosses. People don't know how to talk to each other, but like I enjoyed it so much because I learned so much. I learned a lot of do's and don'ts, and the free product was amazing. I think that's where I really like started getting into makeup. I was like, oh, makeup. But I was there for a couple of months, and then I got a call to go to MTV from my old boss, and I was just like, oh my God, yes, the Mecca. Like everybody wants to be there. So
and MTV was the network.
MTV was the network.
As we were growing up, MTV was everything.
TRL was still there. All the shows were coming out.
Making the Band. Oh, that was legendary.
Yeah, it was a time. It was a great time. What a time, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, it was great.
So while you were at MTV, who was someone who mentored you along the way that really, helped you?
Real talk, I didn't have any.
No way.
Outside of my mother, I didn't have any. I figured a lot of this stuff out on my own, and because I think I was talking to Jonathan about this last night. I'm afraid to ask. I'm always afraid to ask. I'm afraid of the ask because I don't like no. But then it's like, what can happen after no? Okay, you move on.
Yeah.
But I've never asked because I always felt like there was a thin line between taking advantage of somebody and being greedy. Like, figure it out. Make sure you do your due diligence to figure it out yourself before you go and ask somebody. True. And I always figured it out on my own, so I never asked. It wasn't until the latter part of my career, more recent years, that I realized you need some guidance. Like, you need some.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. You're not as smart as you think you are. You're pretty smart, but you need some guidance. So the beginning of my career, I didn't have any mentors. I figured it out on my own. I had people that I would like stalk online just to see what they were doing.
Right. You did your research.
I can find a needle in a haystack. Like, I can find anybody anywhere. I promise you.
I feel like that's a common female trait in 2017. The searching.
Absolutely.
Detective skills on a hunted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't have any.
That's real. So, through all that trial and error and self-discovery and personal research, what is one lesson from the entertainment industry that has stuck with you today?
It's a couple. There are really no emotions in entertainment. It's like, it's all business. You know what I mean? Like, people that you think are out, have your best interest at heart. Everybody's just trying to get to their goal. Don't take these things personally. Just realize when going in here that not everybody's your friend. You know what I mean? Entertainment industry is kind of cutthroat. Is rough because everybody wants to get to that top, like what they think is the top.
Right. What was the top for you?
I don't think I got there yet.
I mean, at that time, you kind of transitioned from entertainment to entrepreneurship to education. So do you still consider yourself in entertainment?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I'm trying to figure out how I can marry my two passions, which are the youth consumer and marketing and branding. So like I think my next role in my career is going to be a youth consumer marketing like position somewhere. If I have to create it. Or jump into, a company with my data and say, hey guys, you guys are missing this. This is what I can do.
Right.
That's what the next.
And that's kind of a mystery for a lot of people.
It is.
And how to start off in one industry, you go to school, get your degree, start working in some field, and then decide that I want to pivot, or I don't like this anymore. I have a new passion. I've evolved. Transitioning to another industry is kind of difficult today.
It can be, but sometimes it's not even like your choice. I didn't have a choice. I think that in undergrad, I was president of damn near everything, and I would create all these activations for my friends and bring things to campus. Like we brought Michael Blacks in. I did so much stuff, and I always remembered how excited my friends would be when we would have events on campus because like college can be boring sometimes. It's dry sometimes,
Whoever's bringing the action to campus is the man on the yard.
Absolutely. And I was like, when I graduate, I'm gonna work in a college relations department at a label, but they don't even exist anymore. And I've always just had that passion for working with students. So while I was at BET, I actually did a tour for Carol's daughter where I hit 6 HBCUs in 5 days.
Wow.
And it was like one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Did you go to Hampton?
Of course I went to Hampton.
Okay, true. You're good with me.
Yeah, I went to Hampton. And just the response was amazing. Like the girls in Florida A&M were actually jumping over tables for hair product. And I was like, wow, this is serious,
It's hot down there. They need it.
I was like, but I loved it. I was so excited that they were excited. So
what's the blueprint to transfer to another industry? Like, how does someone do that?
You just have to pay attention to the signs. I got laid off from BET, so that was sign number 1. And as soon as I got laid off, like the money really wasn't coming in, but Black Enterprise sponsored a tour that I did. So I hit a couple of colleges, I want to say fall 15, fall 14, I don't even remember. And it was just so fluid. People, when they heard that I was embarking on this new venture and doing these speaking engagements, people were willing to help. So I was like, I got to start paying attention to this. If it happens fluidly and everything starts falling into your lap, then that's what you're supposed to pay attention to.
Have you ever read The Alchemist?
Of course I did.
So you were paying attention to the signs.
I was. I was.
I love that book.
Reluctantly.
Yeah.
Then I was still applying for my entertainment jobs. And 2 opportunities, I was the number 1 candidate, and then somehow, some way, somebody came in and swiftly snatched it out of my hand. And I got 2 rejection letters on April Fools.
You thought they were jokes?
I knew they were real, but I was sick. I was so sick, and I was like, all right, God, tell me where I'm supposed to be.
It's a struggle before the triumph.
Oh my God, I thought I was gonna die. 2015 was the roughest year of my life, and I'm very transparent about that. I tell people all the time, it was a huge eye-opener for me. Like I thought I was here and I really wasn't. Like I almost got evicted.
Wow.
Yeah, for 1 month of being late, and I couldn't understand that. So I had to,
It must be cutthroat in the real estate industry too.
I don't even know, but they were just horrible. I still live there though. But I had to reach out to my mother after a while. But who wants to ask their mom to pay their rent?
It happens.
Yeah.
Millennials are the generation that spend the most time at home with family and getting help from their parents. So.
Yeah, she doesn't live here though. She lives in Virginia. So, I had to make that call. Had to hear what she had to say.
Yeah.
Like, why would you wait till the last minute? Why would you go?
Money is universal.
Yes. Yes.
So talk about the differences between entertainment and education.
It's a lot more purposeful. You can see the effect that you're having on people and students and the gratitude. Like, you don't get too many thank yous in entertainment. You don't get any thank yous in entertainment. But just a couple of days ago, my text messages on my birthday from my students, my eyes were watering. I was like, oh my God, like I'm really doing something out here. When you're in it, you don't really feel like you're making an impact. You don't really feel like they're listening to your words. They're going in one ear and coming out the other. But when they start repeating things that you're telling them, I'm like, oh my God, you were paying attention. Okay, all right, I feel good about this. But it's so much more purposeful.
Yeah.
I love entertainment, don't get me wrong. When you're in an executive assistant position, it's very, very hard to get out of that role. So yes, I took the role because I was super happy to be at MTV, but I was like, I don't want to be anybody's EA for the next 10 years. Right. So I had to create my own opportunity. So I created my own marketing and branding company, and I would take all these freelance opportunities. My first client was Jamie Foxx, and that's because one of my friends worked for his management. So I did some online marketing for him, and I was just always asking and looking for freelance stuff because I knew that I had to create my own to prove that I could do it to get out of an EA role.
So you use entrepreneurship in a very common way in 2017, where we're always trying to like create our own, stand on our own too. But there's pros and cons.
Absolutely.
To being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
So talk about that. What are some pros and some cons that you remember or that you feel from entrepreneur?
You gotta call your mama so she can pay your rent. Like, you have to hustle hard. Like, just because you get a check, you get that check is gone before it even hits the bank account. Like, you have to, in your mind, be setting up for the next opportunity. You should always be pitching. That's one part of entrepreneurship that I do not like. I just told you I don't really like to ask.
Yeah.
So it's very, very hard for me to pitch and find that business. I needed to.
The whole sales process.
Yeah, I couldn't. I needed to join forces with somebody whose strengths were my weaknesses, you know, who could do that, because I can put together a marketing deck, I can execute, I love the traveling, I love all that stuff, the on the ground stuff, but the pitching that business, I was just like, I can't do this.
I know that you inspire people, whether you embrace that or not. And I know a lot of influencers that inspire people that we sit down with, but what really is fascinating to me is to learn who inspires the influencers. So if you had to name 2 or 3 people that were on the Mount Rushmore of inspiration for you, who would you say?
Of course, my mother. I was going to say Oprah. There's 4 people on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Can I say 4?
Okay, go ahead, 4.
My mother.
Rapid
Oprah,
fire.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary V.
Yes, and DJ Khaled.
Really?
Yes, I have to put Khaled up there right now because he is just so damn positive all the time. Like, he's just so, like, at one point he was probably the most inspirational person on social media. Like,
Snapchat put him on.
Snapchat put him on. He got his filter and everything.
He has
everything.
everything.
It was awesome.
Yeah, he was the perfect ambassador for what they were doing. It gave him a platform and it gave them a bigger name. It was the match made in heaven.
Yeah. And him and his baby, he's just so happy.
Because I knew DJ Khaled before. Like, of course, he made tons of good music, but I've never really embraced him until the Snapchat, Instagram era came along for him. And then I'm like, it really humanized him for me. And I'm like, I like him. He's a pretty cool guy. He's just funny.
Absolutely.
He's funny.
Yeah.
So one of our core beliefs at ShineHard is that passion changes everything. And I believe that because I've found that passion is the first step to finding your purpose in life. And I think you're maneuvering through your journey and you figured some things out. I'm curious to know, what would you say is your passion and when did you know?
My passion right now is helping our students with the trajectory of their lives. And when did I know? I want to say after the Carol's Daughter tour. I've always been excited about creating, but then I realized I need to figure out how to fuse the two. Like, I love this. This experience was amazing.
Working with the HBCU students, seeing that energy.
Absolutely. I was like, how do I do this more often? Like, I need this. I need it. So
do you believe that everyone at some point has had a vision or a dream for their life?
Yeah, I think they do, but I think it's also a test to, like, recognize that was a vision or dream for our lives and, like, move forward on it, you know? Like, we'll get this vision and we won't move on it. I think I've been moving slow on my vision. I think God sends me messages through messengers.
Yeah. Have you ever read Conversations with God?
No, I have not.
It talks about the 4 ways that God communicates with us.
I need to pick that up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think, because I'm not as quick as everybody thinks I am, you know. And I asked God, I'm like, listen, God, if you're trying to tell me something, please make it plain as day, because I don't really have.
Yeah, snail mail or something.
Yeah, something.
Send it as a
letter
bill,
so I can, with bullet points, because I can't really decipher all the time. But He's been sending me messengers a lot
left
lately.
and right.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between someone who's made their dream a reality and picked up on it, and then someone who hasn't?
You can see it. The proof is in the pudding, like where they are and their success. Like, you know, I'm still trying to figure some things out, and you see other people who are following their dream, and they're 10 steps ahead.
Making strides.
Yeah, they're where they're supposed to be.
What inspires you to succeed?
My mommy. I just want her to be proud. Like, that's it.
Isn't she already proud of you?
She is. She tells me this pretty often, but I'm like, this is a continual thing. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to be dope. I want people to look at me and like, oh my God, Tola, she's so dope. Like, I love her. Like, that's really it. You know? I didn't really mention this earlier, but my father and I like didn't really get along when I was younger, and I wanted to make sure that when I got to this point in life, he would see like, my daughter is a shit. You know what I mean?
She did that though.
my daughter's awesome. So.
That's real. Do you feel like you're accomplishing that goal?
Absolutely, because he told me. I haven't spoken to him in 17 years, and he hit me up on Facebook. And he told me, I've seen the amazing things.
He dropped you a DM.
He did. Yeah.
Did you save it? You should have screenshotted that.
No, it's still there. It's still there. But like that's all I ever really wanted, just for people to look at me and be like, oh my gosh, she's awesome. She's doing amazing things.
Yeah.
I want to know her.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it.
Thank you.
We're going to put you out there. So we.
Are you?
Yeah, we're going.
I don't know if I'm really ready for that, but.
It's big. It's going to happen. Embrace it.
Thank you.
Let's talk about some of the gems you drop on your students and the people that are inspired by you. When they come to you, I'm sure they have tons of different questions, and maybe they haven't asked you this yet, but I'm sure they will. How do we break into the entertainment industry? How do we get in, and how do we flourish in that lane?
They definitely asked me that. I'm like, first of all, you matriculate to school in the fall. You bring me that 3.0, and then we have this conversation.
Okay. Go to college.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get good grades.
Absolutely.
That's not cliche?
No.
Oh, that really works?
It does work. You get those grades, and you figure out what some companies are that you want to work for, some things that you have interest in, some things that like you like to do that can possibly turn into career fields. Because honestly, all they know is lawyer and doctor. You know what I mean? But like, let's really take a deep dive into everything is a job. Right. Everything is a job.
Right.
So let's figure out what some of your likes and passions are and how we can make this.
How do you help them find their passion?
You write down the things that they like. A lot of them love fashion. A lot of them love like helping people. I don't know. I just make them do a brain dump and figure it out. And then we talk about like some of the companies that they want to. This is with the older students, not the recent grads, but talk about companies that they have interest in working in. I make them write down a list of 10 companies they're interested in. Look at their sites, see what type of opportunities they offer, and let's get this resume together. Make sure your bullet points and the deliverables and the things that you have done at these companies fit the role that you're looking for.
Right.
And make sure your social media profiles are up to date. LinkedIn is extremely important. I'm a LinkedIn stalker, so I'm trying to teach them my ways, but I can't give them all the tricks.
They're not ready yet.
They're not ready.
Bring back that 3.0 first, and then I'll graduate you.
Yeah, I just want them to keep their eyes on the prize and just know that like people are not out here they're not gonna give it to you.
Right.
They're not gonna give it to you. So make sure you do your part before you come and ask for help. You know.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Word. Well, Tola, that's all we got for you today. You have been awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome guest. Really looking forward to putting you on the platforms to tell your story to more people and to inspire the next generation of young Black leaders. Can you tell everybody how they can find you online, where they can email you, whatever?
Oh, my email.
Just give them your social.
You can find me online at Tola Speaks to Me. I haven't changed my Twitter name yet, so it's still Tola617. Yeah, Facebook, it's Tola L. I don't know if you can find me on Facebook, though. I'm kind of private. But
You have all your privacy settings on.
I do. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Tola Speaks to Me.
Cool. You guys can find me, Johnny Bailey, at Johnny Bailey, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find the ShineHard family at ShineHard fam all across every platform. You guys, please check us out. Again, we're here at N3. This is an awesome tech hub, incubator for young Black businesses and the DC community at large. If you guys are ever in DC, please come by and check it out. Run by some very good people. I love what they're doing, and I'm here all the time. So anyway, let's talk about your passion. Let's talk about your vision, staying true to yourself, figuring out who you are, and shine for the culture. Tola.
Shine for the culture. I love it.
Our goal is to help young Black boys and girls discover their passion and change the world, but we cannot do this without the help of the ShineHard community. Will you be the milestone donor that helps a 17-year-old Black girl learn the path of a plastic surgeon? Will you be the keystone donor that helps a 22-year-old graduate break through into the tech industry? We as a community can accomplish so much together, but the time to act is now. Here's what you can do. Scroll down, click donate, and invest in the future of our community. I'm Johnny Bailey, and together we shine.